Hi everyone, Amy here with amyswares, and I'm going to show you a fabulous new stencil and 2 fun ways to use it. So this is the BOHO Happy Birthday. I have a couple pieces of Canson watercolor. I have some Nouveau shimmer powder, and I'm also going to use some of my Magello Mission Gold, I think is what it's called. I'm drawing a blank off the top of my head. Anyway, it's a really nice watercolor that I have, and I'm going to show you 2 fun ways to use this new fabulous stencil from the March release at a Colorful Life Designs. Here's a photo of the finished cards to show you the direction that we're headed. I wanted to show you, you can get a similar look with these 2 different products, and basically I have pixie spray on this. You definitely want to use that for these 2 techniques just to kind of save yourself the hassle. It might be doable without it, but I would definitely recommend it because it really does help it hold down, kind of grip onto those fibers of the paper. Now for this case, I am going to mask off the happy birthday because, as you saw, I wanted to turn them into 2 thank you cards. So these Nouveau shimmer powders, first of all, don't squeeze the bottle. Just gently tap. Squeezing it will create a big old mess for you. So basically I have a few different colors. I think Golden Sparkler, Catherine Wheel, and whatever that blue is. I'll try and remember to link it below. But basically you're just going to put down little clumps in the openings of your stencil, and then you're going to spritz some water. And this is magic. It blows me away every single time. I love the variation in color. I'm just using some water as needed and using this little tiny paintbrush just to kind of blend it. You don't want to leave clumps of dry powder because that won't stick to the paper. It'll just end up brushing off. So definitely make sure you get it wet, whether that's with your spray or with a brush, just to kind of introduce it to the water, and then that's where the magic happens. It just blends so beautifully. You will probably get the best look by letting it dry, but as you'll see, I do get a little bit impatient and I bring in my heat tool just to kind of speed along the process. But I'm just kind of working it through the openings of the stencil. I brought some red onto that gold just to kind of give it a little bit of variance in color. It looks a bit of a hot mess, but I can tell you when you remove it, it's just magnificent. Now you'll see I do get a little bit messed up where it did leak under the stencil. That was just when I was pulling it back. So with this particular stencil, I would recommend pulling it from the top very slowly. So start at the rainbow and pull it back. You'll see I did not encounter that same issue on the next one because I did start at the top. So do yourself a favor if you're doing this technique with a liquid medium, definitely start pulling it back carefully from the top. So I was trying to kind of sop up a little bit of it. It helped a little bit, but I was okay with it. I'm just going to keep moving. So I'm using that same water bottle just to kind of activate my watercolors here. And I have a nice big watercolor brush, and I'm just going to put it back down on another piece of Canson watercolor. So this time you can see I kind of moved it down on the composition, so I don't need to mask off the happy birthday because that's actually off the bottom of the card panel that I'm working on. Now these panels are 4 1/4 inches by 5 1/2, and you can see that pixie spray is creating the perfect environment for me to just introduce this wet liquid. So I can't remember, I think I may have resprayed it just to make sure, because you want to make sure you have enough pixie spray to get the best results with this. But I'm coming in with greens and yellows, beautiful watercolors, kind of some that I already had in the little palette. I don't really have a plan, I'm just kind of grabbing what looks good to me in the moment. This is one of my absolute favorite things to do with stencils, is to watercolor with them. So if you have watercolors and you don't fancy yourself a pro like I'm not, this is a really fun way to get them out and use them with your stencils. You could do it with metallic watercolors on black watercolor paper. Or you can use any sort of watercolor you have, even the little cheapy Crayola ones that are $1 if you want to try that. So super fun. I absolutely love it. And again, you can let this sit and dry organically, probably for the best result. Or you could just be impatient like me and apply a gentle heat tool to it just to kind of expedite the process. So here you can see I'm just carefully starting with the top, and I don't get that leaking. So you can see it's much more successful. It's a cleaner result in this case, but this is just absolutely stunning. I don't let it dry there. I just give it a minute to kind of suck into the watercolor paper, and then I just carefully remove the stencil. So here I have these rectangle dies. These are nested dies from Craft Stash in the UK, and this is like a torn paper or kind of like a deckled edge, and I absolutely love it. So it's just the slightest bit smaller than US A2 size, so 4¼ by 5½. I ran those through my die cutting machine off screen. I have a Spellbinders Platinum 6, and I did use up some scrap colored cardstock that I felt matched the colors that I use on the panels. That was a way, just because I felt like the bright white background of my card base kind of clashed a little bit with the creaminess of the watercolor paper that I used. So here I'm flipping through my sentiment book. This is my storage solution. I store all these die cut or stamped and die cut sentiments that are ready to go. These are baseball card pockets. I will link the ones that I use below. I do actually have 2 different variations, but I'm kind of flipping through. I have those gorgeous waffle flower ones that are kind of new to my stash, and figuring out what I want to do. I do end up, as you saw, ultimately making them 2 different thank you cards, but I was really, I don't know, kind of taking my time. There were a lot of them. I really thought these Altenew strips looked really cool too. I like the gold with the golden sparkler color of the shimmer powder. So I was just kind of being a little precious here, figuring out exactly what I wanted. But I went with those 2 different thanks die cuts. I think the one on the left is Trinity Stamps, and the one on the right is Altenew. I will try and remember to link those. But here you can see, look at these containers of bling. It just, oh, it does something to me. I love having all these colors. You can see I'm just holding them right up to my project to see what one looks best. These are available now in the shop at A Colorful Life Designs. So if you're hearing the hallelujah chorus like I am, it's a beautiful thing. So she used to offer these as just little freebies with your order, but now you can actually buy them, and she keeps adding to the collection. So there's actually 12 new colors in the shop that are new for March. So in addition to all these gorgeous stencils, there's now 12 new colors of these beautiful blingage. So I'm figuring out, I do decide on going with the green ones for the card on the right, and then gold for the card on the left. Just going to put these down with some liquid glue and my jewel picker tool in a smattering of odd numbers here. I'm trying to cover up my mistake a little bit with the bling. I don't know if I made it worse by calling attention to it by putting the bling there, but either way, it's a handmade card. It's okay to have mistakes. It's not perfect, especially when you're using a liquid sort of medium like this. So here's the 2 finished cards. I am chuffed to bits with how they turned out. They're so gorgeous. I will link everything that I used in the video description box below. You can see all that gorgeous shimmer there. Use my coupon AmyFan10 if you shop and save on your complete order, and I will catch you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.